These are the plays that are going to make you the most money today. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. In today's show, we're going to go through some of the highest probabilities in the NBA, and also we're going to discuss exactly what happened over the last couple days. So, without further ado, let's jump into the whiteboard and let's get into it. So, right off the bat, on the 10th, you guys already know we had Sengun. That was on the show. All right, we had Sengun to go under 40.5 PRA. He ended up crushing that one. He only had like 32, I think it was, so we easily hit that one. Then we had Kevin Durant. This was an F-bomb. All right, we had Durant over 21.5 points. Okay, just points. Now, he had an 86% probability there. That was an F-bomb. He ended up hitting that one. Then, to kind of go with that play as well, we had Durant over 32.5 PRA. Okay, he had a 75% probability with that play. He ended up hitting that one. Then we went back to Scotty Barnes. Okay, Barnes to go over 28.5 PRA. And for Scotty Barnes, he ended up having a 74% probability for that. All right, and then takes us to yesterday. Yesterday, we had Harden to go over 34.5 PRA. He ended up crushing that one as well, even though they got beat. He still ended up crushing that one. So over the last 2 days, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 0 sweep, complete sweep across the board. Everybody loves when there's a sweep, right? Everybody loves that stuff. That's the stuff you want to see, right? You like to see the sweep stuff. Everybody loves to see this stuff. They don't like to see the other end when you end up losing and stuff like that. But it's part of the game, all right? It is what it is. When you ride through some of the times that you lose, you got to ride through some of these times as well, where you're sweeping across the board. Now the F-bombs, that's going to take the F-bombs to 74 and 19, giving us an 80% hit rate on those. All right, so we're hitting 80% on the F-bombs. A little regression. We were up to almost 82% on the F-bombs there, but we did lose a couple in the last month. But overall, last couple days, we've been on fire. All right, so if you guys want to be a part of that, make sure you guys click the link down in the description and join the group. It's that simple. All right, you got two options. You can learn how to do it, and you get the picks, or I could just send you the picks. Whatever it is you want to do, click the link down in the description to join the team. If you guys are already part of the team, if I've helped you guys out in any way, make sure you guys throw that in the comments. Show some love, because it's good to let everybody know what the winning team is actually doing. But like I said, pretty solid over the last couple days. F-bombs are still hanging tough, still playing pretty good, hitting at a good high percentage there. All right, and like I said before, these are all alternate lines, okay? Because getting to today's play, I'm going to get in the comments again, I got this line, I got this. These are all alternate lines. You could find these at FanDuel. All right, if you just want one sportsbook to find them at, you can find them at FanDuel. So it's that easy. But let's go ahead and jump into today's play. All right, so before I jump into today's play, there is something that I do want to discuss with you guys that I think is very important when it comes to any type of sports betting, or just in general, financial-wise, of the emotion, the mentality that you need with certain things. All right, you need to understand this. You need to understand that sports betting, you have to look at it as an investment, okay? Now, a lot of people are going to laugh at you when you say you want to look at sports betting as an investment, but this is the way you have to look at it. You can't look at it as gambling. You can't, okay? If you look at it as just gambling, pure gambling, then what's going to happen is you're just going to plain out, be wagering a bunch of money and just trying to get that 50-50 double up and everything like that. That's what you're going to be trying to do. All right? Gambling is this, trying to put that $100 down and win that $100 in the same day or the same play, or putting that $100 down and you're trying to win $1,000 on that parlay. That's gambling, okay? Investing is understanding, if we got $10,000 over the course of the whole year, if you make $2,000, then that's solid. Okay? That's the difference between investing and gambling. They are both hand in hand, okay? Because when it comes to investing, such as the stock market, it's still gambling. I know people that have lost more money in the stock market than they've lost in sports betting. It's the same stuff. If you don't have a strategy, you don't have the right way to do things, you don't have the mental game, you don't have the emotional control, you're going to fall down the same path, whether it's in stock market or if it's in sports betting. The difference is the mentality and how people perceive it. All right, perceived as gambling for sports betting, but yet stock market is investing. If you don't know what you're doing in either of them, you're going to lose money regardless. So both are gambling. I hate when people kind of dictate and put them in separate categories. Okay, they are both in the same category. They are both gambling. For example, stock market. If you were to take Tesla and you had Tesla this year and you bought it at the beginning of the year, you would be down like 40% right now, which would be, in sports betting, would be down 40 units within a month or two. Okay? Most people are going to fall off the wagon in gambling, sports betting, when you're down that much money. They're going to freak out. They're going to lose all their money because they're just going to start dumping stuff out. But guess what? This isn't considered gambling to a lot of people. A lot of people just don't understand. They just don't get it. When you have the right strategy and you know exactly what to do and the money management concept of it, investing is anything. Is the stock market, sports betting. The things that aren't investing are things that you can never get an edge on, which is like slot machines and stuff like that. You're not going to get an edge on anything like that. That is not investing. That is pure gambling. Okay? But as for the stocks and sports betting and poker, stuff like that, you can gain an edge on. Horse racing, you can gain an edge on those things. Okay? So if you have the right strategy, you have the right formula to gain an edge there, then you are above the rest of the field that just thinks it's somewhat gambling. And, those people with that type of mentality are just going to lose money anyway. That's just the way that it goes. They're going to lose money. They don't realize that the same thing goes hand in hand. Not just this, too. Like, another thing I want to bring up that is a funny aspect of things is financial planners, all right? So what does a financial planner do? A financial planner does what? Let's see. Financial planner tells you what? They tell you what to bet on in the stock market, right? That's what they do. They take your money and they tell you what you should do with it. So, what to bet on in stocks, whether it be stocks or bonds or anything like that. That's what a financial planner does. They tell you what to do with that. But everybody is okay when you're labeled as a financial planner. But if you teach people how to do sports betting or a type of, poker or horse racing, you're considered something completely different. It's the same exact thing. Because what does somebody do that teaches sports betting? They tell you what to bet on for sports. Right? So look, what do we got here? We got two people looking like the same thing. One's telling you to bet on stocks, the other one's telling you to bet on sports. This one's okay to be in the real world. This one's looked at as, I don't know, it's gambling. I don't know about that. You have to understand the differences between both, okay? The differences between both are not that big. Stocks, sports betting, if you know what you're doing and you have the right strategy, you can be successful in both. But you have to have the right mentality. You can't have this mentality, all right? This mentality will make you go broke, while this mentality is investing to where you'll be able to make money over the long term. That's how you have to think of it, okay? It's that simple. It really is. It's that simple. The right strategy, the right mindset, the right discipline, and you can take sports betting and make it investing rather than what the world sees, which is gambling. All right, let's go ahead and get in today's play. All right, so we're going to go to Ja Morant. He has a 66% probability to go over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. All right? He is going against one of the worst teams at guarding the point guard position. All right? To be specific, he's going against the worst. He's going against the Jazz. The Jazz are the worst versus opposing point guards. All right? So, what do we got here? We got a decently low number for Ja Morant. We got a pretty good probability here. Hence, this probability, if you look deeper into it, which I can't just tell you how to do that, right? Can't just tell you how to do that on YouTube here because it would take forever for me to go in detail to explain that stuff. But if you go into detail here a little bit for Ja Morant, you're going to see some reasons why that number's higher. I can give you one. All right, Jaren Jackson is not going to be playing. So what does that do? That boosts this usage up for Ja Morant for sure. Now the blowout factor is in play in this matchup. I think the spread is like 12.5. So we do have a possibility to where, you know, Memphis gains a huge lead. He doesn't play in the fourth quarter. So that is a possibility for sure. And like I said, if you ever want to offset the blowout factor, all you have to do, the blowout factor is usually around like 16, 17 points. Okay, if they're up by 16, 17 points, they're usually going to pull their starters. They're not going to continue in that game. So what you could do sometimes is you could take the alternate spread at like 17.5, and this is usually at like plus 200 or whatnot, and it kind of offsets your prop as well, where you could get lucky sometimes and hit both, but then if they pull him, you know, in the fourth quarter and he's a little bit short, but they're up by like 25 points or whatnot, you end up hitting that, you get your money back and stuff, and you actually make a little bit. Okay, so that is an option when there is a blowout factor. That is something that you can do if you want to take the risk with doing that. Now, of course, there is an opportunity where you could lose both of those. Okay, but there's an opportunity where you could win both as well, or win one, lose one, and guess what? You end up making a little bit of money if you get this. But if it's the opposite there, then you kind of just get your money back. Okay, so you got to do that smart though. Got to think smart when you're doing that type of stuff. But once again, Ja Morant, 66% probability for him to go over 32.5 PRA. Going against the worst team at guard in the point guard position. So we don't got to worry about the matchup. All we really have to worry about is the blowout here, is what I think. Okay? I think we just have to worry about the blowout because the blowout factor is going to be something that could come into play because I can't see in 3 quarters maybe him clearing that. So I think he does need to play 4 quarters to be able to hit that number. But we will see what happens. But Ja Morant over 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And I'll put this in big letters for everybody. That is an alternate line. So I don't want to see in the comments, my number's 38.5. Because guess what? That is your number at minus 110. But the alternate line for here is that FanDuel too. Is that FanDuel is going to be 32.5. Okay? You'll be able to find that. As always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.